Right, let's do this. How's everybody doing? What's up? What's up? Nobody here yet, but um, but anyway, I'm just gonna go in. Don't matter. One person watching or nobody watching, it doesn't matter because it's when you feel inspired and you never know what actually gonna actually get certain inspirations out of you. And it's actually quite fun when you actually let your mind wander and you tend to dissect certain perspective about life, or you get to, hey, what's going on, Kim? You get to yeah, you put on you not put on you spend, but you actually you get to analyze on a deeper level certain part of society fall apart. So Kim did had post a discussion that I had with a gentleman over Xena's channel. It was actually quite fun, some back and forth and kind of pull up his skirt. And but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I want to chat. I'm gonna show you the screen from the comment section, and then this guy said something quite interesting, and I wanted to check it out. Let's look at application window. There you go. All right. So, all right. So let's check out this comment real quick, right? Let's zoom in. All right. So no wait, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. There you go. All right. So this guy was like, I think his name is Oral Surgeon Ryder. Oral surgeon. Oh, what does that mean? You like to have a thermometer up in your mouth or something, or a penis? I don't know. But anyway, that's not the point of this conversation. All right, he said, "What kind of man get with a woman that already has a baby from another man? That is selfish behavior. Single mother priority is her baby, not her new man. The word single mother is an oxymoron. Mothers are not single. This argument is so simple, yet it hurts beta male." So now the question is, should a mother prioritize her partner or should she prioritize? Let me repeat the question again. Should a mother prioritize her partner or should she prioritize? Because see, maybe I'm too old for you motherfuckers, right? Maybe I'm too old school. But I do remember, based on what I've seen in my culture, based on what I've seen on actually various cultures, there is a certain level of priorities that's taking place. So that means that, like, a mother is the last line of defense for her child. She's there to protect the child. She's there to nurture the child. She's there to provide for the child. And then the husband or the partner encompasses both the mother and the child. And with that type of mentality, right? The mother, all priority is her baby, not her new man or her man per se. So then, hold. I gotta pause this real quick. I gotta talk to somebody real quick. So, uh, hold up. People always ask, telling me that my lights are on and shit like that. But anyway, so all right. So here's the funny thing, right? So now you have, say for example, you have a girlfriend person, right? Things going good. You guys are going out and stuff like that. And then usually at the beginning of the relationship, when there isn't that much responsibility yet, And that's when things are actually at their wildest. You know, she coming through, she's giving you head in the car, in the parking lot, doing all this crazy shit, blah, 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 right? And then a baby gets in there. So now there's a kid involved, right? All right, cool. So then do you think the same level of carelessness gonna proceed as you have a child to raise now? You know, do you think that she's gonna keep sucking your dick on command when she has to be up early to prepare her kids' meal before she go to, for the kids to go to school? Do you think like, she's gonna be, walking around with her booty shorts in the house and shit like that while, she has like a toddler in the house? You think that's gonna proceed? You think that whole carelessness, no attitude, no care in the world, and stuff like that, that's gonna proceed? Do you guys really think that's gonna happen? So you try to tell me, right? So the mother's supposed to prioritize her man, but not her baby. And then you wonder how the hell the society, the community or the society as a whole is into the shit that it is right now. Because this is what happened, right? So let's say that, boom, you get, you're going out with a boyfriend and stuff, right? And then the girl gets pregnant. And the guys look at it like, well, damn, party time's over for me. I can't do this shit. She's not doing the thing that she's supposed to do for me anymore. She's not, sucking my dick on command. She's not serving me 24/7. She's not doing this. She's not doing that. Right? So then, because there's another person involved, and kids, especially from, toddler all the way up to teenage years, they require a lot of attention. But you're so selfish, you're so narcissistic, you expect that attention to remain upon you. But because you don't have that anymore, so what do? You start doing the type of shit that most people do, right? They start going out, they start cheating, and then before you know it, they leave the chick. So now a relationship, what might have started off as a relationship, now she becomes a single mom. I mean, are we not ever gonna talk about that aspect? And the argument's usually this, right? Oh, well, she made her choice. She lied, she should lie in it. That's her choice. But what makes you think any of these motherfuckers, if given in that position, would they actually stick around and remain in the household? Or would they just bounce and be like, well, as long as I'm paying that child support, I'm taking care of my family, father of the year. Do you know how many single dad that be bitching about bitches and shit, bitches this, bitches that, but they barely see their kids? Do you know how many single dads that the most of the time, you only see them on Facebook with their kids when Father's Day is around? That's when they come through, take some pictures, and then they also use their kids to get pussy. Trying to, oh, look how much of a great father I am. Yeah, look at me chilling with my daughter and this and that. And then you just drop the little kid home and shit like that. And then you have an argument, you cuss your baby mama out and stuff like that. And then you bounce, right? Do you know how many of these motherfuckers do that? And it doesn't matter. It's not just a Pookie and Ray Ray thing. The Pookie and Ray Ray thing is just the most obvious. That's the go-to guy. That's the scapegoat. But how many dudes with regular jobs that is still bum-ass fathers? And all the attention is blamed upon, well, she should have made a better choice. Granted, part of that is true. A lot of us should always try to make better choices. But are we not going to at least analyze both sides of the equation? Should the child not be the priority in that relationship? Tell you what, with my family, if push comes to shove, I have to save my daughter or my wife, I'm saving my daughter. And I better hope she does the same thing. I better hope my wife does the same thing. Push comes to shove, she have a decision to make between me or my daughter, she better choose my daughter. Because otherwise, isn't that what we're doing this for? Right? You sacrifice the present so your kids have a better life than you did. So then, therefore, when you are at your older age, when you are in a position to which you can no longer take care of yourself as well as you used to, so then, therefore, now your kids would be the one helping you. There's a saying in Creole, right? Bourrique fait petit pour le poser. The donkey has children, so then his back could rest. So then you have a lot of these single dads, you know, they bounce, right? Because oh, my baby mama's crazy. Granted, part of that can be true. Oh, this bitch is insane. Granted, part of that can be true. But did you think about how crazy she was before you were fucking her? But but let's just put it this way too, right? Your baby mama's crazy, your baby mama ain't shit, your baby mama this, your baby mama ain't that. So then why aren't you doing everything possible to take the kid away from that crazy bitch? Hmm? Or is it just easier to just have the child remain in her custody so then you could be the father of the year once a year when you actually take all those pictures during Father's Day? Or you have pictures with your son or your daughter to actually try to impress your next single mom, your next baby mama. Let's face it, a lot of these guys, that's what the fuck they do this shit for. So if we get to call out the women, are we not also supposed to call out the men? And then if your child is not the priority of your life, is not the priority, then that's when you also get all these mothers, right? They get, let's say things didn't work out with the boyfriend. They get a new partner. And then, this dude come through. And the next thing you know, they beat the crap out of their children. There's plenty of cases where a stepdad end up, killing the child or molest the child, a whole bunch of shit. Some of these parents did not have their child as a priority. Are we not going to talk about that? But you might say, but Art, she should have stayed with the father. Yes. In any case, you should try to resolve shit with the father. But can you force any grown person to stay with you? It's a give and take, man. Life has a lot of sacrifices. And if you're not willing to at least have any sort of sacrifices, I can't fucking take you seriously. My dad made a lot of mistakes in his life, but he also had paid a lot of sacrifices. That means working 2 jobs for 20 years to make sure that he took care of all of his kids, 6 of us. Granted, he could have made a wiser decision with his penis. He could have actually tried to have just one household. So then, therefore, he would be able to build some sort of wealth on the long run. But he knew what he had to do, and he actually worked his ass off and provided for us. My mom made a lot of sacrifices because once things didn't work out with my dad, she could have get another person. But guess what? Because of some of the risk factor that comes with having a stepfather, then she remained single. There's a lot of sacrifice as parents we do for our children. So therefore, it's very hard for me to take anybody seriously that just have their visor on and they don't understand what it takes to actually raise a child. To, you make sure that you're there at the PTA meeting. You talk to them about when you have to discipline them. Sometimes you have to discipline them. Sometimes when you have to have an argument when they become teenagers. When you have to put your foot down, when you have to be an asshole. When you have to provide, you have to make sure the bills are paid. You have to make sure you have a good relationship with your partner. So then shit doesn't trickle down. All of that is part of being a parent. So yes, a good mother, should always have her child first. Doesn't matter whether you're married or you're a single mom, or doesn't matter. A good woman, a good mother should always have her child as a priority. And if things didn't go right the first time, you learn from those mistakes. Try your hardest not to repeat it That's how it goes. And it's kind of comical. All right, well, so you guys are still arguing over this shit. All right, John, Kim, I know you guys have a lot of crazy spot going on between y'all two. It's all good. But let's just keep it peaceful for today. Can we try that? So I do understand, right? This is the I want to address the second aspect of the motherhood, right? Because I do see sometimes the type of pressure that having a child can be placed upon parents, right? And then whenever you have stress, and then you have other things as priority to all single moms, there do all single moms receive to have what? So do all single moms have to have partners? No. Listen, not everybody's supposed to be in a relationship. Now let's talk about that. And if you don't want to, go out with a single mom, then you don't. If you find someone that makes you happy and she happens to be a single mom, all right, cool. Whatever the case may be, you do what makes you happy, and you actually have a moral stance, morality. You have your principles. But what tends to happen, a lot of these guys that don't have any sort of principle, but yet they want to get on their soapboxes. You know, these are the type of guy that will come through, try to go to a third world countries, then go a couple of dollars at a chick that's starving, and try to feed her baby. Like, see, you want that money, right? And these are the guys now that try to criticize others for actually stepping up and do the right thing. And these are the motherfuckers you supposed to take seriously. So that's why, like, when I look at someone's ideology, right? I look at the ideology and I ask myself, all right, cool. I see what that person believes in or don't believe in. And I see where that person's going with their talking point. However, now I try to analyze the character of that person, right? So then if I see, like, you try to talk this kind of game, right? All the talking point, you hitting all the right note. It's kind of like when you find out, um, it's kind of like, let's say you have Jesus walking around, preaching all the good stuff and everything right there, right? And then Jesus is drunk. Jesus is doing all this crazy shit behind the scenes. Jesus is doing a whole bunch of crappy ass things. And I think a lot of time that's what happened with a lot of these guys, right? So you have, that happens with baby mamas as well. They want to talk about, oh, these motherfuckers and shit, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But when you take a look closely at their lifestyle, and then you realize, all right, you're not a good person. It's always the same thing as a lot of these single dad when they try to bash someone just because, or they try to bash, a gender just because they had certain choices that they made in their lives that did not end up to the way it's supposed to be. So then you gotta take a look back, be like, all right, good. I want to see you as a person. I want to check out your characteristic. And come to find out, a lot of these motherfuckers are bitter, miserable cunts. Their personality, they're narcissistic. They have a whole lot of bad characteristic of them. So it's easy to repeat the verses of the Bible. It's easy to repeat the verses of whatever religion you believe in. Whether if you believe in a save yourself black man religion, of course, you can always come across with the statistics. You can do this, you can do that, you can do all the debate. That's why I don't really care about debates, right? I don't really care about debates because I try to look at the person. I try to look at what is the person is saying. Does it actually match who they truly are? And sometimes I keep receipts. And yes, sometimes I keep receipts just in case when I see some of the hypocrisy that is obvious to everyone, that should be obvious to everyone. But there's this chameleon, be like, well, I'm a victim because I'm doing what I'm doing because of this scenario. I'm doing what I'm doing because of that scenario. See, I'm a victim here. And then when you come to find out, be like, whoa, 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 that's the type of person you are. Oh shit, no wonder the woman left you. Or if you're a woman, no wonder your man left you. You know? So are we not gonna analyze every, are we not gonna analyze both sides of the equation whenever we actually try to talk about a scenario? So why the hell would I want to get with a woman that doesn't see her child as a priority? Why the hell would I want to have a life with a woman that doesn't have her child as a priority? Make that make sense. If your children are not your priority, then are you a good parent? Are you a good father? Are you a good mother? No. All of that means that you're just blowing up smoke. Time's always difficult. Sometimes you might have to go through a hard time with your partner. Sometimes things work out, sometimes things don't work out. But you got to be aware of people that try to throw a blanket statement at everything. And they also try to hide their own fuckery behind good individual. For instance, right? You do have some men out there that actually went through really bad breakup, that went through really bad relationship, hardship, all that stuff, right? And I sympathize with these men. But you also have a lot of guys that on some fuck shit. They try to hide behind those. They try to hide behind the suffering of these guys, the people that were truly hurt in the process. Same way that there's a lot of good women out there that genuinely were misled by their partners, or a death occurred, or something bad happened in their lives, to which now that makes them a single mother. But you also have a lot of women that hide behind the genuine suffering of these single mom. But these bitches ain't shit. So if we're not willing to call out both sides, if we're not willing to actually analyze what's going on in the individual's life, but we just want to create partnership based on just a simple common goal. You like pussy? I like pussy. Oh yeah, we're brothers in arms. You like prostitutes? I like fucking prostitutes. Then yeah, we're brothers in arms. You hate black bitches? I hate black bitches. Then yeah, we're brothers in arms. You know, niggas ain't shit. I believe niggas ain't shit. Yeah, we're brothers in arms. No, it doesn't work that way. People will sometimes say a whole lot of shit. And then when you actually bring about the receipt of who they truly are, all their narratives fall apart. All of their narratives fall apart. And that's why it's easy to like be like, well, you see, all the single mothers, they're the one that fucked the shit out of everything, the Western civilization, and then we had no choice but to go overseas to do this, to do that, and all these motherfuckers that actually find a single mom, actually their wife up, they are simps. And I'm like, dude, you you like pussy, just you like young, almost underage pussy, go for it, man. You don't have to make up excuses at what you matter. You don't have to. But no, you feel like you're shaming me. Dude, wasn't that what you just doing by actually telling me that I have no right to be with a single mom? I had no right to actually be with the love of my life? No, that's not the same thing. See, you might ask yourself, right? Because I do have friends that are MGTOWs. I do have friends that are SYSBN. I do have friends that are like pro-black. I do have friends that are like, they don't care about none of that shit. And I do have, you know, I do have association with people that have certain belief that are different to mine. But you know what's a priority for me? You know what's a priority for me? The person itself, the character of the person, the content of the person's character. That's what I look at before I actually look at any sort of ideology a person's subscribe. So yeah, we can talk about where we disagree, and then we go about our days. But at the end of the day, I look at the person's character, whether or not I can trust you, whether or not you're the type of person that's like that's a weasel, that's just doing some slick shit, that is narcissistic, slick oil salesman. That's what I look at. I don't care about what ideology you subscribe to. I mean, shit. Was it like what? Not too long ago, I had a interview with a feminist or someone that called herself radical feminist. Conversation went great. Everything was all good. I have conversation with pro-black, a pro-black person. Truth teacher is kind of a pro-black person. Big J is though sort of a pro-black person. True pro-black. Awesome conversation. We talk, whatever, blah blah blah. We good. But I take a look at the content of the character in the same way. So when I look at someone that have kids and your kids are not the priority of your life, how am I supposed to how are you supposed to expect me to take you seriously? If I see a single dad talking about day in, day out, how his baby mama and shit, how his baby mama crazy, how's this and is that, and you don't have your kids or you're not going through the process of actually taking sole custody of your fucking kid, that can't take you serious. That's like if you're a single mom, still talking about, oh, these motherfuckers ain't shit, blah 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 blah. But every fucking like weekends you in the club twerking, and then you don't care who you leave your kids with. How the fuck am I supposed to take you seriously? We have to be able to analyze both sides of the spectrum. Put a flashlight on someone's character. Not what the fuck they're saying. What's going on, Guagua? So if we're not willing to do that, we just want to have blanket statement over everybody just so we could actually fill the narrative. Because you can always tell too, right? Who only cares about the narrative, not who can actually have a conversation, or who cares about, getting down to the nitty gritty or to the core of the matter of their belief system, right? Say for example, right? If you said that if you're pro-black, then you're gonna see racism everywhere, right? And then your rhetoric is gonna be based upon the lens of white supremacy. Just like if you are, uh, you know, fake pro-black, mind you, fake pro-black. If you like a fake MGTOW or something like that, right? So you're gonna see everything through the lens of women and shit, But if you are slick oil salesman, then based on whose presence you on, then you're gonna try to put on a veneer. You try to prep it up, you try to pretty it up to be more digestible to the people that you either A, probably try to sleep with, or B, try to make you think like you're a good person, blah blah blah, right? But you're gonna have all these talking point of the divorce rate, single mothers rate, and blah blah blah, so on and so forth, the laws and yada 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 yada, right? But your action will tell me that, okay, you stalking your coworkers, you stalking people's wives, you just sending random dick pics to dudes and sex tapes to dudes and shit that they're not asking for, stalking people and all this shit. So then it doesn't matter what the fuck you believe in. At the end of the day, you're just a scumbag. Same thing with, say, single dads, right? Oh man, all these bitches and shit, blah blah blah, right? and then you try to use your kids to get pussy points. Um, you don't pay child support, or you actually like, you try to hold, even let's say before your woman take you to court or something like that, right? You would try to hold, money as a blackmail, because if you're not with her, then she can't have nobody else. So then, if God forbid she happens to have a boyfriend, guess what? That, well, I ain't giving you money for this, for the kids, blah blah blah, right? And you wonder sometimes a lot of women actually just don't even want to bother with the father, because they like to have, you know try to play that role, that blackmailing, same way that when they go to these third world countries, be like, well, you want to feed your kids? I got $5 right here. I know it's probably like 40 pesos. Suck my dick, bitch. How am I supposed to take these type of people as decent human being? I can't. I can't. And that's what we talk about. So whenever we have this type of criticism, right? And whatever, depends on whatever ideology you subscribe to. And you're gonna come attack it from a place of ego. You're gonna come across and be like, well, you're jealous because brothers are traveling and they have options. No, 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 my good sir. I encourage brothers to travel. I encourage them to actually be cultured. I encourage them to actually see different aspects of the world so then they can see how good they have it here in the United States. I encourage all of that. But what I do not encourage is when you try to disintegrate other people's culture, when you're trying to actually disgrace other people. Now, whatever the case may be, are you against black women because you married a white girl? No, dude. You get with whoever you are that you like. Whoever you like, you get with that person. Whoever actually you can build something with, you get with that person. Yo, before my girl, if I got me with a black chick and that's treating me the way my girl's treating me right now, I would be the exact same fucking way. I would treat her just like a fucking queen. Doesn't matter to me about the fucking color. Martin Luther King did not marry a black woman. He married a good woman that happens to be black. I did not marry a white woman. I married a good woman that happened to be white. Polish, European. So it doesn't matter. Like, you have to learn to actually see the true self of the person, not what they try to present, not what they try to fluff off to be. And you could tell all this chameleon and shit like that, right? When they go to a certain live stream and they try to portray certain characteristic, and then they're very soft spoken, very submissive, very, like that very sweet, sweet little harmless, I can hurt a fly type of bullshit. But those who know better. You gotta see the person's character. You gotta be able to go through and see the content of the person's character. If you're not willing to do that, then don't waste your time, don't waste their time. That's what I talk about on my channel. I have no specific agenda because I talk about a lot of things. Sometimes I talk about politics, sometimes I talk about society, sometimes I talk about the culture, talk about my country, talk about my family. So yeah, I don't have a set shtick because I talk about what interests me. I like to analyze things. I like to break things apart to their smallest particle to see the component. And sometimes when you break things down, when you put things under the microscope, you get to detect a virus. And when you do, you come up with a remedy against said virus. So yeah, a good woman, a good mother should always prioritize her children. Just like a good father should always prioritize his children. So you guys want to make it seems like, so if you guys will always be the priority in a woman's life, whether or not she has a kid, then you're always gonna be a single dad. You're always gonna be a single dad if that's your thinking. If that's your way of thinking. Because once the woman have a child, a bulk of her focus supposed to be on that child. She's supposed to be the one that makes sure the homework gets done. She's supposed to be the one that makes sure that the laundries are done, the foods are prepared. She's supposed to be the one that actually have the main bulk of the gender role, nurturing aspect of it. You come through, you protect, you provide as a man, and you take over some of the punishment that has to happen, some of the discipline part has to happen, some of the more heavy stuff. All right, but let's face it, for the most part, men, we're just chilling. We're just fucking chilling. We have no idea the type of shit that women have to go through when they have to raise a fucking kid. And we want to come around and be like, a woman's supposed to serve you 24/7. Supposed to suck your dick a command, supposed to do this a command, supposed to do that a command. Okay, so where's that woman? Have you found him? Have you found her yet? That's why I pay prostitute, nigga. Right, because the woman you're speaking of doesn't exist. And if she does, then I'm sorry, that's not a woman that I would want. I don't want a groupie. I don't want a servant. I want a partner. I want someone that prioritizes what I value the most. I value my daughter a lot, my wife a lot, and she values me a lot. But she better value our daughter more than she values me. Just like I better value my daughter more than I value her. So yeah. So all you guys that have this fantasy about what a mom should be, what's supposed to happen. Oh. Check this out, right? Here's a funny part too. Here's the funny part. See, what tends to happen, because the raising of the child takes a lot of time, right? It takes a lot of effort, resources. That's why a lot of time you see like you know, as the beginning, it's very hard to have to actually, do certain things financially, right? Because your money's a bit tied up, you know, in your children. So you are trying to provide the best that you can for your children, right? But you are also limited on the type of things that you can do, the type of risk that you can take. And then as you start to get older, as they start to get older, and then now you can actually now start to deviate your time, whether it's that to become more financially stable, or you start taking more risk on your investments, so on and so forth. But however, when a lot of these guys, some of these guys, when they complain, or they be like, well, you know what, since I'm not a priority no more, deuces. So they left, they they break up with the mom and all this shit, all right? Or they just like, see ya. They just bounce, right? They're no longer their kid's life until probably in holiday season, and when they'll probably send some gift and all this shit, and then try to post it and brag on Facebook that they're the father of the year, right? That's usually what happens. And then the kid grew up without ever really knowing you. And then when you were like old and gray, and then now you try to get back on this kid's life, and you wonder why the fuck the kids no longer want anything to do with you. They don't know you anymore. They don't know you anymore. And the thing is, the mom that was there throughout the whole time, even though, even though the kids might have a certain level of resentment towards the mother, right? Or certain unresolved conflict that they might still have with the mother. But because the mother was there for the good and the bad, the kids then would choose the mom's side over you because you wasn't there. You wasn't there to actually help shape your kid's personality. You wasn't there to help shape your kid's character trait. You wasn't there to help shape your kid's moral compass. So then how could you turn around and be like, well, the community's all fucked up because it's the single mom's fault? Nigga, you wasn't there. You got motherfuckers that rather go to jail than to actually do the right thing, get a regular job, and go through some of the hard times to raise their fucking kids. Like what? Bitch wanna try to get me some child support? No, fuck that shit. I'm gonna sell drugs, nigga. I'm gonna do some shifty shit, so I ain't gonna report no income. But see, as much as we like to criticize the Pookies and Ray Ray, a lot of these motherfuckers are the same. They just put a suit on. All these SYSBN or traveling brothers and all the shit, blah blah blah. Who knows how many kids they have overseas? Who knows how many kids they just forget about it? Probably have all that shit overseas. Are they gonna talk about that? No. It would always come through showing you like, hey, I got me these bad bunnies, these bad bitches, bad, 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 bad. You know, but time waits for no one. Once you on your 40s, 50s, 60s, your teeth start to fall apart and you still preaching that MGTOW shit and nobody around you. And you still try to recruit new fresh blood into that movement that is dying. Something that is dying. Because you have no one to talk to. You have no one to actually that give a fuck about you. Like I was listening to the last video of Kim was doing and shit like that, right? And then it's funny because they wanna any criticism of these movement, right? Whether it's SYSBN or MGTOW, whatever the case may be, right? They consider that as, jealousy, hate, or whatever the case may be. But look at the bright side. Because we're now been talking about this, now the narrative of their talking points start to change. Now you have brothers now trying to talk about well, you know what, we are community, we get together and we know, we try to invest in each other, and we have brothers that, tell people to come to Japan and how to live in Japan and all this shit. Blah, blah, blah. But dude, before we started talking about it, 80 to 90% of your content was about big booty prostitutes, how much they cost, which hotel to go to, and how you actually can bring the price down and all. It was all penis talk before we actually start to put this shit on the limelight, just to put a mirror on your fucking face. So technically, we did you guys a favor. By addressing some of this issue, it kind of forces you now to talk about true growth of men you claim to care about. True growth, which means that how to start a business. I don't care about how much money you have. How about you tell me, how did you get to invest your money? Property, giving hints, what books to read, what to look out for when you actually for if you buying a property for the first time, what to how to spot the best deal, what stocks to invest in. All these pussy talk is overrated, man. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Most of the time, we just laugh about it to put a mirror in your face to see the type of shit you be talking about. And that's what pisses you off. You're just jealous and talking about some of the shit that we do. You sharing it, dude. And that's the beauty of it. So it's easy to just like try to throw stones whichever which ways. I do have friends that actually travel, that do stuff, whatever case may be, right? They have fun. I do have friends that do that. But you know what the fuck they're not doing? They're not spilling all this shit on social media, looking like jackasses. I do have friends that criticize single moms and all this shit. And yeah, I got no problem with that. I criticize single moms. And I don't encourage people to just go out and actually get with a single mom. I encourage people to actually see the content of someone's character. The content of someone's character. You cannot assess someone's character and all you can do is actually put a label on someone and keep it moving, or you put a label on someone in order to actually try to up yourself up to be the person that you're really not. Got news for you, man. A lot of people can see through you. It's easy to separate those who actually believe in their ideology and those who are saying those ideology in order to fit in order to have some sort of importance. I got this kid that try to tell me like, and one end, working abroad is abandoning your family. And then on the other hand, working abroad is your wife taking advantage of you. Which one is it? But the answer doesn't matter. It's all about trying to fit a narrative. It's all about trying to fit a narrative, as if it's unheard of for people to actually work abroad. Like it's unheard of for a guy to actually be out of the house for like a year. It's unheard of, is it? So many careers take men away from their homes. There's a lot of careers that do that. When you're looking at the immigrants, how they do it, how they come through and actually be able to surpass some of the native born Americans here, which is another subject I'll talk about later on and stuff like that. But my point is this. If the woman that you get with doesn't have, is not a good nurturer, if the woman that you get with is not willing to actually put the children first, the children's first, I got news for you, man. You don't have a good woman. Anyways, I'm not keeping you guys for long. This is Art Banaka. Share, like, comment, subscribe. I want to give a shout out to all of you guys that have been here. My baby right here, Sirius. You doing sexy? So yeah, this was fun, man. I like talking about some of these things, like kind of in a deeper thought process. But anyway, I'm not keeping you guys for long. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate it. Peace.